Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome into a quick daily read for Sunday. Let's do some shuffling and see what the tarot has to offer. What do we have for Sunday? Okay, the Death and Rebirth card, the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the Two of Wands, the Eight of Cups, as well as the Hermit card in reverse. This Sunday shows you evidence that things are becoming more connected in your world. I feel like there are a lot of introverts, or at least partial introverts, loners, if you will, drawn to the reading. And Spirit saying this is a time for you to feel connected to other people, other souls, and I want to say creativity and an endeavor or two of importance for you. They're also reminding you, and it may as well come through throughout Saturday, maybe even Monday, to follow this specific day. What is meant to last, what is meant to continue, will continue, right? Regardless of whether a spirit or two decides to mess with, things in regards to that situation, regardless of people, doing shady things behind the scenes or in general. And regardless of a mistake or two, I feel, for some drawn to the reading. Nobody's perfect, but I feel like people are drawn to you throughout this day, and you can't help but think about your world, how things are changing, and what you're lacking in certain ways at this time. But they want you to remember this is going to be fixed, okay? This is going to be added onto your plate. You're going to feel like clearing up your schedule a bit moving forward, and this may not feel 100% or partially doable. I feel like you're going to remember how busy you truly are, but how capable you are when it comes to handling that. But the Queen of Wands, the Death and Rebirth card, and the Knight of Wands, because I feel like you are getting things done in a very passionate manner, but it doesn't feel like you have all the energy in the world, if we're being completely real, and it does feel like a Sunday for the most part. So this passion is going to come through in a changing kind of way, in a more simplistic manner. Taking an easier route to work is what I'm hearing is going to be key for you. You're going to remember that marching to the beat of your own free drum, interesting, is going to be the best route. I also feel like people are respecting you, interesting. A 3D image is going to come into play for somebody. But the Magician card, because I feel like it's a day where you are manifesting. So when it comes to what you're lacking, once again, what you want, what you need, we can bring that into existence, right? Manifest it into your physical reality. And so they as well want to remind you what you focus on, what you water, that's of true importance. Okay, so don't or take yourself out of a lack, not a lack mindset, but maybe a slight pessimistic sort of way of thinking and focusing. But I do feel like you're going to remember how much there is at hand, excuse me, in regards to the possibilities. You've been through a lot, and I feel like that's going to come into play with the Five of Wands here, as I just was spiritually messed with. But I feel like you're going to need to remember at certain points that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? What you have to lift yourself back up in regards to is taking a focus. But the Fool card and the Six of Wands, because I feel like it's a day where you're feeling victorious in certain flowing ways, and this is needed, okay? It's deserved. People are seeing you as somebody who is meant to be more so in the spotlight, pairing these two together, okay? It feels like you might be feeling a little bit shaky, right? But don't focus on it. Allow for what does affect you to either fall to the wayside or just at the very least be ignored. Does that make sense? Or at least do what you can to minimize the negative effects in your world, your physical body at this time. But I feel like you need to remember to be drinking water. The Four of Swords as well as the Seven of Swords, it feels like in a very secretive manner, you're being protected. Interesting. It feels like you're not fully aware as to how much spiritual protection is taking place. I also feel like there's something that you did that's being currently overlooked in a positive sense, right? It also feels like you're being noticed once again in positive ways. But I do feel like there's a noisy person in your midst, or at least their energy is quite noisy, or it could be both, as I'm being drawn to this very chaotic, loudmouth bird here. It feels like you want to quiet things down energy-wise. You want to quiet that person down. Maybe you want to quiet your own mind and emotions down, but it doesn't feel 100% or at all doable. But I do feel like it's a day where your world is changing, all right? So you need to be expecting the best. I feel like you want to change your world in a new, small way, and they're saying there's no holding back at this point along your path. I mean, strategically at certain points, but when it comes to stuff like that, differing from case to case, of course, as to what that exactly is, we need you to be changing things to your advantage. All right. I feel like being drawn to the specific read, you have a very helpful soul, and this is very evident, right? It's obvious at this point, or in general, you're going to feel like there's no stopping you when you're in the right mindset, when you're in the right energy. But Spirit's saying we all have our moods, right? We all have things that affect us, whether we admit that or not, or give credit to that or not. You're doing your best job is what I'm hearing. You're doing your best job. You're also being reminded when you are chill, right? When you're calm and peaceful, feeling grounded and balanced, that's when you do your best at whatever you're wrapped up with. And that could, of course, apply and speak upon more than one situation for you. But again, I feel like this day reminds you of your worth, right? We didn't say that specifically, but your value, what you're bringing to the table. And I feel like for some, two different situations, if not one in particular, very much obvious, okay, to the naked eye is what I heard, to, I want to say, several people of importance. And you're also being informed for some, but maybe reminded for a lot, that money is taking an increase, okay? I was having an important conversation with this kid at my job, the host, and, you know, I'm pulling out cash, you know, so that I can get a bigger bill or two. And I was, for whatever reason, mentioning that I spend a lot of money, right? It comes in and sometimes it quickly leaves. But, you know, I'm spiritually pushed and guided, and life is expensive. But I was like, I then mentioned strategically, due to a spirit, I have to remind myself at times what leaves will come back tenfold, right? Wasn't the exact wording, but basically, don't be afraid to live your life, okay? Don't be afraid to put out there what you want to see come back in return tenfold. Very interesting. Let's wrap up this reading by saying once again, things are changing for you. You're changing, and it's time to feel more connected.